It's hot, and most of us are doing our best to get through another scorching day. And while people are urged to stay cool and take it easy, for some, that is not an option. This is how Jose Gomez has earned a living for his family for over 10 years. He owns and manages his own landscaping business. He says he provides maintenance to 10 to 12 homes on any given day. And he's a one-man band, for the most part, but on some days, his son Elvin tags along.
It's nice helping my dad because usually when it's hot and he has big jobs like the one we're doing, he usually takes longer than he usually comes home. And when he does come home, it comes like sweaty. And like when I go with him, it's usually faster. He doesn't get as tired as much when he comes home anymore.
Elvin says hot days like today are rough. It's not easy working through this kind of heat, but he says he's more than happy to help his dad work through this kind of day.
I don't like seeing my dad like all tired and like not with enough strength to be with his family.
For Gomez, there's no other option. He says he has to work to support his family.
It's hot, but we need to work.
It's tiring. It's mostly the sun that gets you tired, you know?
Willie Reyes has been working in construction for over 6 years. He says you never get used to working under extreme temperatures, and this summer has been especially hard.
Working in the heat with a mask, it's hard. You can't really get a lot of fresh air that you need.
But he says even with the heat and the pandemic, his essential duties continue. Just like Gomez, hot or not, it's business as usual. Amber Frias, NBC7.
Health and safety authorities recommend outdoor workers drink a liter of water over every hour they work. They also recommended they try and take breaks in a fully shaded or, if possible, air-conditioned area. Get the weather 24/7 with the NBC7 mobile app. You can check the temperatures hour by hour in your specific neighborhood and sign up for severe weather alerts.
Okay, now to our coronavirus coverage you count on. San Diego is officially off Governor Newsom's monitoring list, but it actually doesn't really mean much right away anyway. It took a few days longer also than expected because the state had to clear up some backlog testing data. So here's a look at today's numbers for you. Today's case rate is 88.4 cases per 100,000 people, which is well below the state's requirement of 100 cases. That number needs to stay below that threshold for 14 straight days in order for K through 12 schools to be allowed to resume in-person learning if they want to. Meanwhile, no changes are allowed for businesses until the state gives further guidance. Today's positivity rate was 4%. There were 202 new cases out of more than 5,500 tests. There have now been 35,162 total confirmed cases, and 7 more San Diegans have died. That brings the total to 633 people.
Getting off the state watch list is more symbolic. Businesses still can't operate indoors. This is leaving hundreds of San Diego County businesses in really a limbo, waiting new guidelines. NBC7's Melissa Adan shares some of their frustrations.
The uncertainty of when businesses can reopen their doors to customers and allow them inside is what's making it so hard for so many owners, especially this South Park Beauty Studio.
The minute that I know that we can open, we're going to announce it, we're going to have a plan, because we are going to succeed. I just need to know when can I open my doors.
The question so many business owners across San Diego County want to know is when. When will they reopen? On Tuesday morning, the county was officially taken off the state's monitoring list, which implemented several rollbacks, including shuttering so many indoor operations. Angelica B. Beauty is a skincare studio that's been hit hard by the closures.
1, 2, 3.
Angelica Seeley recently moved into her new South Park space after her studio in University Heights was sold. The mother of 2 says she's balancing making decisions about her kids, working with her husband to provide for their family, all while trying to keep her almost 9-year-old spa up and running.
People in my industry, the salon right here, like the owners, the morale is so down, and it's sad because these are businesses that were thriving just months ago, and again, we know sanitation, that's what we were trained on. So it's really frustrating just to see. It's not just the businesses, but the people behind the business that you're affecting.
At this point, Angelica says she'll continue offering virtual consultations and selling beauty products online until she can get the green light. In South Park, Melissa Adon, NBC7.
Well, families in this county are getting closer to a highly anticipated back-to-school day, but of course it's going to be much different than normal. NBC7's Priya Sridhar takes a look at how students are nonetheless getting ready.
Here at Carlsbad High School, students are visiting campus to pick up their textbooks and laptops for at-home instruction. They say it's one of the few times they're probably going to get to see their friends for a while.
While there's fresh paint on the parking lot for those coveted senior spots, so far the lot is empty, and there's a good chance it might stay that way for a while.
Well, we're not going to be in school. We're going to be doing it online.
Are you picking up books?
Juniors at Carlsbad High made their way through this drive-through line to get laptops and yearbooks, and some ventured inside for pictures and schedules. The overall sentiment was not too excited about doing school online again.
It's more difficult because it's a lot harder to stay focused because you got everything else.
I'd rather be in school just because I just started a new school and I don't really have many friends there.
And if high schoolers are worried about focusing, imagine the parents of elementary schoolers. We checked in with Carrie and Sarah a few weeks ago when she first heard school was going to be online. Now her son's elementary school has given more specifics. Online school hours will be 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
I don't think for the younger grades that they intend they're going to be sitting in front of the computer those all those hours, but still it was much longer than I expected.
If San Diego County stays off the state's watch list for 14 consecutive days, schools could open back up for in-person instruction. Elementary schools can apply for waivers for in-person instruction, and that's separate from the county's status on the state's watch list. Priya Sridhar, NBC7.
By the way, at least 4 dozen elementary schools have already applied for the waivers for in-person instruction so far. The CDC has a new tool to help parents make a big decision should you send your kid back to school. We'll take a closer look at that new checklist for you. Also, it's a day of action to try to save the U.S. Postal Service, how San Diego participated in a nationwide movement, plus details of today's announcement from the Postmaster General.
Experience the joy of a bigger world in a highly connected Lexus hybrid at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Hi, I'm Gary Markell. You have room in your home for a new furry friend? Many animals are just waiting to bring you their unconditional love. Join me in supporting adoption. Visit a shelter near you. Together, we can help clear the shelters.
You don't know me yet, but I'm your best friend. Now through August 31st, NBC and Telemundo need your help to clear the shelters.
For details or to donate, go to NBC7.com/community.
Give me the full sales breakdown for the quarter. Up 25% from last year. The investors called. Tell them we're about to go live.
Hey, girls, I brought you snacks.
Oh, sorry, Dad. We've got Tokyo on.
Oh, Tokyo.
Okay, don't waste my time for less than 200 bags. Deal. Yes. The website's going live in 3, 2, 1.
What will you do with our fastest internet speeds? Cox Gigablast, now 100% available in San Diego.
Finally, I no longer have to worry about my electric bill. I couldn't care less if these electronics use too much power. All because we made the switch to natural energy from HES Solar. It's the best decision we could have made.
With HES Solar, the power from the sun is yours. It's time to relax and say goodbye to your electric bill. Call HES Solar today, a SunPower Elite dealer.
These are challenging times for all of us. Right now, many homeowners would like to sell, but want to avoid the hassles of putting their home on the market, showings, and all the uncertainties of a traditional home sale. Hi, I'm Matt Battiata. We'll bring you up to 3 competing cash offers within 48 hours. No signs, no open houses, no showings, and no 5 to 6% commissions. The modern way to sell your home is by going directly to cash buyers. Call 760-930-9898 or go to battiata.com.
A surge in coronavirus infections. 29 states with cases on the rise. Protests and demands for change are unabated.
For the most part, protests nationwide are peaceful.
Do you think that police in this country are under attack right now?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Well, after a lot of criticism, the U.S. Postmaster General announced today that he is suspending any Postal Service policy changes until after the election. Louis DeJoy released a statement saying in part, quote, to avoid even the appearance of any impact on election mail, I am suspending these initiatives until after the election is concluded. He also says staffing will meet election mail demands, post office hours will not change, and the task force on election mail will be expanded. However, he did not say that any processing machines or mailboxes that have already been removed would be returned to service. Critics have accused him and the president of hindering the post office's ability to accommodate this year's expected surge in mail-in voting.
Around that same time that statement was released, San Diego's congressional delegation was participating in a day of action for the post office. NBC 7's Nicole Gomez has more from the event in the Midway District.
Well, we're outside the Midway Post Office where you can see a large group of supporters gathering right here. They have signs that say, "Save our USPS. We love our post office." Today's day of action is all about raising awareness about the importance of the U.S. Postal Service. On hand for the event, local Congress members Scott Peters, Susan Davis, Juan Vargas, and Mike Levin, along with Assembly Member Todd Gloria and Supervisor Nathan Fletcher. Their message that the Postal Service is a pillar of our democracy protected by the U.S. Constitution. They're also calling on Congress to pass the Delivering for America Act, which prohibits the Postal Service from implementing any changes in operation or level of service it had in place on January of this year. Now, all of this comes as President Trump is under fire for saying explicitly that he opposes much needed funding for the United States Postal Service because he doesn't want to see it used for mail-in voting this November, fueling allegations that he's trying to manipulate the postal system for political gain. The pandemic has led to record-shattering levels of voting by mail requests. The president has criticized mail-in voting for months, baselessly asserting that it will lead to voter fraud. Adding to the issue, the new Postmaster General, a longtime Republican donor and ally of the president, implemented sweeping new operational changes in June, which have led to widespread mail delays, which could potentially threaten Americans' ability to cast their votes on time.
Here in San Diego, it's the same thing. I mean, they're taking boxes away. They're trying to do everything they can to frustrate people's ability to vote. Why is that? If you've been such a good president, you say that, allow people to vote, and we'll find out if they want to support you or not. But don't cut the Postal Service. I mean, don't cripple this service for your very narrow, egotistical, political reasons.
Well, for today's day of action, these representatives are asking the public to send letters, buy stamps, and write to your leaders about how important the Postal Service is to you. Reporting from the Midway District, Nicole Gomez, NBC 7.
New at 4, President Trump is proposing some sort of toll for cars coming into the U.S. from Mexico to pay for his border barrier. He announced this to reporters during a campaign stop in Yuma, Arizona this afternoon. He said it would either be a toll on cars or on money being sent back and forth. He did not give specifics when he was asked about the size of the fee or how much he hoped to raise with it. Earlier today, the president met with Border Patrol officials and claimed the border fence here in San Diego has done more than just prevent illegal immigration.
We put up 18 miles in San Diego as an example, right opposite Tijuana. And Tijuana is probably the worst place in South America in terms of the virus. I think it is the worst place. And San Diego is not suffering at all because of it.
Well, the president also gave a speech in front of supporters. He's scheduled to fly back to Washington, D.C. in a few hours.
The second night of the Democratic National Convention is about to kick off. The party is hoping to build momentum from an historic virtual opening night. The focus tonight shifts to a more personal look at Joe Biden. His wife, Dr. Jill Biden, will deliver the keynote address, followed by speeches from former President Bill Clinton. Also, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will be speaking. Former First Lady Michelle Obama sharply criticized President Trump last night, and today the president returned fire.
Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head.
You know, she was over her head, and frankly, she should have made the speech live, which she didn't do. She taped it. I thought it was a very divisive speech, extremely divisive.
Special live coverage starts at 7 o'clock tonight, right here on NBC7.
In Carlsbad, police are investigating a murder-suicide. Last night, police got a call from a family member of a man saying his 92-year-old relative killed his 89-year-old wife and was about to take his own life. After searching all morning, police did find a man and woman's bodies inside a car on Estrella del Mar. The investigation is still underway this afternoon. Happening now, the search for this missing teen girl from Lemon Grove. Deputies say 15-year-old Alana Whitland was last seen July 31st, leaving her home on Lemon Grove Way. She got into a man's car. Investigators are looking into the possibility they met on Snapchat. Alana is 5'2". She weighs about 235 pounds and has blonde purple hair. If you happen to see her, call the sheriff's department. Sex trafficking and exploitation of children are growing problems in San Diego and across the U.S. That led me and the NBC7 Investigates team to dig deeper into the issue, to share what parents need to know to protect their kids. We are launching a 7-episode documentary series called Stolen in just 2 days. You'll hear from the perspectives of survivors, pimps, even sex buyers. We also uncovered substantial proof of the scope of the problem in San Diego County schools. Watch the full trailer right now on NBC7.com/stolen. The full series goes live Thursday online. I can tell you, Monica and her team have been working hard on that, so be sure to tune in. It's an important story. Coming up here, a San Diego company is developing a new drug to treat the sickest of coronavirus patients. We'll tell you about the big progress announced today when we come back.
Weather on NBC7 is sponsored locally by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Here's dependable Mr. Water Heater, found in most homes for years.
And here's the amazing little sister, the tankless water heater.
Which one's right for you? Call us at Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air because nobody wows clients like we do.
What makes Jerwitz Law Group so special are the people who put their trust in us each and every day. To us, they're family. I'm Ross Jerwitz, and if you need help, just call me. 855-GET-ROSS.
Life changes. But a true passion never disappears. It just needs the opportunity to flourish. Sunrise Senior Living, where you can do more of what you love.
Find your keys. Find your get up and go. Find pants that aren't sweats. Find your friends. Find your sense of wonder. Find the world is new again. At Chevy, we'd like to take you there. Now, during the Chevy Open Road Sales Event, current qualified lessees can get this Trax for around $159 a month, or get up to 15% of MSRP cash back on select 2020 models when you purchase.
Hurry, we're gonna be late.
Ready, Mom?
Oh, not again.
Mom, your car's a lemon.
It's been to the dealership for the same problem twice already.
You need to call the McMillan Law Group and let them get you a new car.
Is your new or certified pre-owned vehicle not living up to your expectations? If so, then call my office for an appointment. I'll let you know whether or not you're entitled to a new vehicle or your money back on the existing one. Call the McMillan Law Group today for a free case evaluation.
Hey Phil, sports are back. Yeah, Ken, awesome. I could have gone pro, but I hung up the mitt to be a white glove guy. Pro, you had no talent. True, but I made up for it by being slow. Oh, brother.
If you get injured, just call my mom and dad. It's so easy. 855-GET-ROSS.
What are you guys doing?
Okay, time now to check in with Dagmar for a look at our first alert weather forecast. Dagmar, I stepped outside and had taken a shower and felt like I needed one again.
Exactly. That was my life in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's followed me here. That's about what you feel. You're outside for 3-4 minutes, you're like, ugh, that's it, I gotta go back inside. Because we have such high humidity levels in the air in combination with the high heat. So it's that relative humidity component, again, how hot the air is, how much moisture it can hold. When you get the two combining together, that's when the body is incapable of sweating enough to cool itself up. That's your cooling mechanism after all, because you can't add more moisture to air that's already pretty much at saturation point. We're very close to that. Boy, you do feel it. So ending up seeing two things going on. Again, that excessive heat warning in the fuchsia highlighted areas, and then that monsoon moisture, that pattern sweeping across from the south and the southeast, and that's leaving you right now with a few cells over the San Diego County mountains. So today, I told you yesterday, you have a slight chance of thunderstorms in there today, slight chance for you tomorrow through Wednesday as well as through Thursday. A couple of cells up there, nothing that has any watches or warnings issued. Riverside County certainly has been seeing some flash flood warnings, watches, some severe thunderstorm warnings in there as well. Those are, of course, higher mountain ranges there, so you're going to get more of that uplift factor and create some of the larger, more powerful thunderstorms. For here, for us, we've had a few, but again, nothing that's gone severe. What we will continue to see here is this extreme heat and humidity. It's the combination all the way through at least your Thursday. So the chance of mountain and even valley thunderstorms. Why do I say that? Because those might have a slight westerly drift component coming from the south and southeast, drifting across to the west and to the northwest. So that's your chance. Mountains, deserts, mountains, and even the inland valleys to some extent, small chance, a 10 to 20% chance through about Thursday. And then even after that, as I've been saying, there isn't much of a cool down. So looking at the spot check at the moment in places like Borrego Springs, you're still at 113, 114, 115. Heading through the overnight hours, Borrego, you can expect a very, very slow cool down. If by the time you get to 11 p.m., the triple digits, the low 100s, is what you consider a bit of a cool down. We'll leave it right here just for the moment, a snapshot of what you can expect in through that South Bay stretch from the coastal zones through into the foothills and the mountains. I'll be back in just a few moments. A muggy overnight awaits us and another day of heat and humidity. But how many more after that? We'll be back in a few moments. We'll take a look.
Thank you, Dagmar. Also coming up, new artwork around downtown is sparking some important conversations.
I think it's very beautiful that the message is getting across San Diego.
I'll tell you about the empowering story behind those banners. And many parents trying to decide whether to send their child back to school. It is tough, we know, but there is a new resource from the CDC that might be able to help you decide.
News is sponsored by Chairman's Roundtable, free world-class mentoring and business advice.
Kia's annual summer sticker sales event is back. Come in and you'll find great deals on reliable cars and SUVs from the mass market brand names #1 in initial quality 6 years in a row, all backed by an industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Visit your local Kia dealer and save. Hurry into Kia's summer sticker sales event to lease a specially tagged 2020 Sportage LX for $169 a month.
Kohl's and Karastan, trusted names for quality flooring. Save on in-stock carpet with immediate installation. And now luxury vinyl. Looks like wood, but waterproof. And real hardwood floors. Live beautifully. Kohl's Fine Flooring.
Yeah, nope.
Something remarkable happens when you serve a community for over 50 years. Your customers become family. Mozzie Heating, Air and Solar, the HVAC experts you can trust. Get a free Lennox air cleaner with a new heating and air installation.
Find your keys. Find your get up and go. Find pants that aren't sweats. Find your friends. Find your sense of wonder. Find the world is new again. At Chevy, we'd like to take you there. Now, during the Chevy Open Road Sales Event, current qualified lessees can get this Trax for around $159 a month, or get up to 15% of MSRP cash back on select 2020 models when you purchase.
What makes Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi so smart?
Its new advanced technology automatically optimizes data routes around network congestion.
Huh? Meaning you get fast Wi-Fi.
No matter how many devices you have.
So say sayonara to lagging and buffering.
Hey, the more devices you have, the smarter your Wi-Fi needs to be.
And there's no smarter Wi-Fi than Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi.
You're watching NBC 7 News at 4.
It is a big day for San Diego State. Today is the start of move-in week.
And as NBC 7's Audra Stafford explains, 2,600 students will be staying on campus, even though most of their classes won't be.
Most of the classes here at SDSU will be online this semester, but the university did identify about 200 classes that have to happen in person. So priority for the on-campus housing will be given to those students, along with incoming freshmen from outside of the area, student athletes, and those with emergency housing needs. And a few of them arrived first thing this morning to start moving in. Among them, freshman Ariana Gokbas, who made the drive from Compton with her mom. They had already paid for her room and board when they got the news the fall semester would be online and decided to just go ahead with the move. Ariana says it's not exactly the way she expected to start her college experience.
I expected parties and fun, so the distancing is kind of, it kind of sucks, but it'll help me focus more, I guess. So I guess that's what God wanted.
Ariana told me she has some concerns about coronavirus, but knows the university has taken a lot of precautions, including regular cleaning and sanitizing and closing some common areas. She says she plans to always wear her mask and stay 6 feet apart from others and looks forward to meeting new people from a distance. The move-in process will be staggered over the next several days. The international students, though, already arrived earlier this month. They're now being quarantined in their residence halls as a precaution. From SDSU, I'm Audra Stafford, NBC 7.
Parents will be interested in this. The CDC has created a school decision checklist to help you decide what to do when schools reopen. NBC News' medical correspondent Dr. John Torres explains what's on the list.
A new tool to help parents decide if they should send their kids back to school. It's the biggest question facing parents as school bells start to ring again across the country. Do I send my kids back or continue online learning? Well, the CDC's created a checklist to help families weigh the risks and the benefits and to come up with a plan that fits them and their unique situation. There are a lot of factors that go into the decision, so what may be best for one family may not be right for another. In particular, if you're in an area with lots of coronavirus cases, the risk of infection is elevated. Low community infection rates make it safer and more likely to be a successful return to school. So here are some tips. Know the school's reopening plans and what they're doing to reduce the risk of spread. Will children be required and able to wear masks? The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends kids 2 and above should wear them. And consider if your child has a condition that puts them at a higher risk for complications from coronavirus, or if someone else in your house does. And remember, children aren't immune to COVID-19, and they can still spread the virus to others, so keeping them safe can help keep the rest of the family safe as well. Now, we're learning more about this virus every minute, so tune in to learn more tonight on NBC Nightly News.
California health officials are getting ready for the flu season earlier than usual this year. They're worried that a combination of flu outbreaks and COVID-19 could drain the state's healthcare resources.
Wear your mask, physically distance, wash your hands, avoid unnecessary mixing, all of those same things that help at COVID. We want to really shift and make sure that it's not just a COVID response, that people understand that it's a flu response.
State Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mark Galley said many clinics are already starting to get their flu vaccines now. He recommended that you get a shot early to try to avoid any rush in the coming weeks. Dr. Galley said the last thing officials want to see is people getting sick from the flu, going to the ER or urgent care, and then being exposed to the coronavirus. The FDA will allow a San Diego company to test its new coronavirus drug at hospitals across the U.S. after it showed promise in treating patients with severe pneumonia brought on by COVID-19. The drug, by La Jolla-based Calcimedica, reduced ventilator use by more than 50% when combined with standard care. It more than doubled the rate of recovery compared to standard care alone. It will now be used at 40 locations across the U.S. Many of them are COVID hotspots.
Striking new poll results today show less than half of Americans say they will get the coronavirus vaccine if one is approved by the government. That's according to a new NBC News SurveyMonkey weekly tracking poll. More than 34,000 adults took that online survey. Overall, 44% said they would get the vaccine, but 22% say they would not. Almost a third said they weren't sure. Among those who said they were more likely to get vaccinated, senior citizens, Asian Americans, people earning at least $100,000 a year, college graduates, and Democrats.
A mother from Texas is opening up about passing COVID-19 to her newborn baby. It is one of the few documented cases of its kind around the world. NBC's Bianca Castro has her story.
This is as close as Wendy Figueroa could get to her newborn after giving birth. She couldn't touch or hold her baby because she had tested positive for COVID right before. And within 24 hours, baby Alexa tested positive as well.
Fue muy difícil.
She says being separated from her fourth child was the hardest part about their journey, which doctors say might be the first U.S. case of COVID transmission from mother to unborn baby. Wendy gave birth 6 weeks early, but doctors say Alexa was otherwise healthy until the day after, when she began showing signs of fever and respiratory distress.
We have enough evidence in her case that the virus was passed from the mom to the baby while the baby was still inside.
OBGYN Dr. Wilmer Moreno says transmission from mother to fetus is possible but rare. At Parkland, more than 170 COVID-positive women have given birth. 5 infants have tested positive. New testing protocols will help track the trends, but the challenge, according to Dr. Moreno, is treatment.
Typically, women sometimes are excluded from these trials because people are afraid of risk to the baby. So at this moment, all the institutions doing research are very aware that they need to include women and pregnant women in these studies.
That's why current guidance for pregnant women includes prevention measures like wearing masks and frequent hand washing. Wendy relied on virtual visits like this one during Alexa's 3-week hospital stay. But now, 2 months later, both are home and happy to be COVID-free.
The CDC says more than 3,000 pregnant women in this country have been hospitalized because of COVID-19, but doctors say most pregnant women do make full recoveries. Younger kids and those with disabilities could have some trouble adjusting to wearing face masks. We're going to tell you about one company's unlikely solution. Also, if you walk through downtown, you'll notice some new artwork. How the banners are sparking important conversations about race, equality, and justice.
The stages are set for the most unique quarterfinal event in Got Talent history.
Like nothing you've ever seen in 15 years.
AGT, tonight on NBC.
Tonight, it's night 2 of the Democratic National Convention. Dr. Jill Biden and former President Bill Clinton take center stage as Joe Biden officially becomes his party's presidential nominee. NBC News convention coverage continues tonight at 10 p.m.
Here's to those who work the lines, on your feet through double shifts and in double time. Our job is to help you do yours with the comfort, balance, and support you need. You've always relied on the Good Feet store to be there when you need us most. Like now, we're lending a hand to help America get back on its feet with safety measures and procedures in place. We're here to serve you at the Good Feet store.
It's a big step.
Yeah, so I probably need a new car.
I know,
Right?
that's what I'm thinking.
What is that?
That is a great deal, and that's a great car.
Cool design. I mean, a new Toyota would be awesome. Look at that offer.
Wow, I gotta say, this is a great deal. And every Toyota comes with no-cost maintenance.
Looks like it's a perfect time to get a Camry.
Yeah, gotta say.
We make it easy.
Tina and I have always loved animals.
And adopted pets are a huge part of our family, so we know how much love and joy they can bring to your life.
Please help Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air in supporting this year's Clear the Shelters.
And let one of these sweet babies bring joy to your world.
You don't know me yet, but I'm your best friend. Now through August 31st, NBC and Telemundo need your help to clear the shelters.
For details or to donate, go to NBC7.com/community.
We're not just your power company. We're San Diego Gas and Electric, and drones that monitor our system, and weather tracking so you can prepare, and whatever it takes to help keep you safe.
Is constant hip pain limiting your life? At a free webinar with experts from Sharp Healthcare, you'll learn about the latest non-surgical and surgical treatment options. Register at 1-800-82-SHARP or sharp.com/hip.
California college students are going to get a more diverse education because of a new law from one of our local assembly members. The measure will require students at CSU campuses to fulfill 3 units from courses in African American, Asian American, Latino, or Native American studies. The bill's author, Assembly Member Shirley Weber, spoke to NBC7 about the new law.
California will be the first state that has a statewide requirement in one of the largest university systems in the world. And so, which is a powerful statement about what we believe in terms of education and the diversity of California.
The 2024-25 academic year will be the first class to graduate with this new requirement. One of San Diego's busiest roadways is now lined with an important message. Take a look. This is the work of local artist Anthony Tyson and the nonprofit Downtown San Diego Partnership. NBC7's Joe Little spoke with people along Broadway about the message they received from the artwork.
A little more than 2 months ago, Broadway was lined with thousands of people protesting racial inequalities. Well, now, as you can see on the pole in the middle there, Broadway is lined with a bunch of posters reminding us that all Black lives matter. In the heart of San Diego, there's a message of unity.
I like them. I love it. This is people that are saying, hey, everybody matters.
It's a series of banners down Broadway. All Black lives matter. Every age, gender, preference, past, future matters.
I think it's very beautiful that the message is getting across San Diego.
And the fact that it's talking about everybody.
It's something that needs to be done, especially with what's happening.
I think it's a start. I think if that wakes people up at the same time as like when they read a newspaper, I don't care if you're Republican, if you're a Democrat.
It's the work of local artist Anthony Tyson. It features a man, a father and son, and a woman with her head held high.
It points it out, makes people aware in a subtle way.
But also, women lives matter because, you know, we women go through a lot.
I especially like that the all is in blue.
It's about respect.
Black Lives Matter is a way of saying that we matter too.
It's tasteful.
I think it's a beautiful message to get across the world.
In downtown San Diego, Joe Little, NBC7.
You can learn more about the artist and his mindset on this project by going to our website, NBC7.com.
Young children with disabilities have a difficult time wearing face masks. It's tough, so one company decided to try to come up with a solution. We'll show you more.
The stages are set for the most unique quarterfinal event in Got Talent history.
Like nothing you've ever seen in 15 years.
AGT, tonight on NBC.
Tonight, it's night 2 of the Democratic National Convention. Dr. Jill Biden and former President Bill Clinton take center stage as Joe Biden officially becomes his party's presidential nominee. NBC News convention coverage continues tonight at 10 p.m.
Find your keys. Find your get up and go. Find pants that aren't sweats. Find your friends. Find your sense of wonder. Find the world is new again. At Chevy, we'd like to take you there. Now, during the Chevy Open Road Sales event, current qualified lessees can get this Trax for around $159 a month, or get up to 15% of MSRP cash back on select 2020 models when you purchase.
People experiencing homelessness are especially vulnerable during the COVID-19 crisis. Father Joe's Villages is on the front lines of providing life-saving services. Our housing programs offer over 2,000 neighbors a safe place to sleep. Our Village Health Center provides critical health care to people in need. And each day, our team serves hundreds of to-go meals. Please help us continue these life-saving services. Contribute to Father Joe's Villages Emergency Response Fund today at neighbor.org.
These are challenging times for all of us. Right now, many homeowners would like to sell, but want to avoid the hassles of putting their home on the market, showings, and all the uncertainties of a traditional home sale. Hi, I'm Matt Battiata. We'll bring you up to 3 competing cash offers within 48 hours. No signs, no open houses, no showings, and no 5 to 6% commissions. The modern way to sell your home is by going directly to cash buyers. Call 760-930-9898 or go to battiata.com.
This is the world's quietest auto insurance commercial. Because most of those commercials are like loud. So Walwanisa wanted to quietly tell you about their J.D. Power Award. Not only do they have great rates for good drivers, but they're ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among auto insurers in California. Shh. Walwanisa, the best kept secret in auto insurance.
The number of people being diagnosed with cancer is down right now, which might sound like good news, but health experts say it's not. They believe there are just as many cases out there. People simply aren't being screened because of the pandemic. NBC's Sarah Dolph explains how that could mean more deaths in the coming years.
Chelsea Edens is in the fight of her life, battling breast cancer during the pandemic.
You know what? I'm not gonna let cancer beat me.
But health experts worry for every case like Chelsea's, many others are going undetected, undiagnosed, or untreated as a result of COVID-19 and will result in thousands of excess deaths.
We are looking at the possibility that for the first time in decades, we don't see cancer mortality decline on a year-by-year basis.
Earlier this summer, head of the National Cancer Institute, Dr. Ned Sharpless, wrote in medical journal Science there could be 10,000 additional deaths from breast and colorectal cancer alone over the next decade. He now believes that estimate is conservative.
The colonoscopy and mammography have declined to an even greater degree than we sort of predicted at the time.
A recent study from the Prevent Cancer Foundation found more than a third of Americans have missed cancer screenings due to COVID-19 fears. Others have delayed the evaluation of symptoms for similar reasons.
In general, we think that cancer is a bigger threat to them than exposure to coronavirus. There are a number of approaches that we can use to make sure that patients can still come in and get the stuff they need without being placed in harm's way.
The National Cancer Institute encouraging patients to communicate with their doctors as it helps treatment centers get back up to speed and pushes for continued clinical trials and research, all critical pieces to combat the enormous impact coronavirus is having on cancer care. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
With COVID numbers declining in the county, allowing schools to possibly reopen soon, a lot of business owners say they're still in limbo. However, they've been keeping an eye on the watch list, wondering why they can't reopen. Here's NBC 7's Amari Fleming with that part of the story.
My overhead, yeah, it's huge. My rent is just under $16,000 a month.
Closed because of the coronavirus, it's been hard for Rebecca Hyde-Edwards to pay rent on her Little Italy salon. It's part of the reason she helped organize this March Monday from Little Italy to the county administration building. Frustrated employees and salon owners carried signs bringing attention to the need for a second round of funding to save their salons, since some are operating at limited capacity or remain closed because they can't work outside. Every day Hyde-Edwards' doors remain closed, 58 people who worked at her salon suffer.
This comes down to people's livelihoods. This is people, how they pay their rent. This is how they pay for their children to have daycare. This is schooling. This is medical bills.
Inside Salon Inc. in Mission Hills, protest signs sit where customers normally would. Co-owner Henry Monreal has been keeping a close eye on the watch list, wondering why only schools are affected when beauticians spend thousands of hours in school learning about hygiene.
God bless schools and they're going to be able to move forward, but how about us? You know, how about the small business owners that can't continue to survive, you know, the way we're going right now? We need some guidance.
Local leaders pressing the state for that guidance. Meanwhile, county officials urging caution to avoid more shutdowns.
Now, as we come out of it, I think we have to be very mindful that as we come off of the state monitoring list, it can't be a sense of we're off the list, everything is fine. It has to be, we did a good job getting our case count down, now let's keep it down.
Omari Fleming, NBC7.
A spokesperson for San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer said through a small business relief fund and other money directed towards underserved communities, to date, more than 1,000 businesses have received aid. Mayor Faulconer continues to advocate for state and federal funding to continue the local relief efforts. Masks are a requirement in so many places right now, but they can cause problems for adults and children with disabilities. But one company says it's found a solution with a new clear mask that's also part face shield. NBC's Marco Villarreal has their story.
Titan Design and Development is a manufacturing company that has had to pivot in the past several months.
Until we started doing the PPE stuff, we were a wheelchair accessory manufacturer.
Making over 300,000 masks, the owner saw a new need. Students going back to school will need masks, but most masks are made for adults, not kids.
I know the importance of having to see somebody's mouth when they're speaking to you. So as children are learning, or somebody with a hearing disability or an ailment, I wanted to come up with some type of hybrid.
The idea came from his own experience growing up hearing impaired.
It cleans up very easy. The top part is made of a skin-like material, so it's very soft, it doesn't sweat. We actually use this on wheelchair cushions.
This $3 hybrid mask and face shield is already becoming popular with other industries, says the designer.
People in hospitality are begging for them. Hairdressers are wanting them.
8 on Your Side spoke with the smaller Target demo about the masks, and they say they like that it doesn't hurt their ears or noses, allowing them to wear them almost all day.
Well, not all day. We usually take it out and put it on the table when we're eating lunch snack.
The company says it also reached out to local governments and school districts about the masks, and there's a good amount of interest.
The San Diego Humane Society is celebrating a big milestone, not with animal adoptions this time, but with an important service during the pandemic. We'll be right back.
We asked real customers what they really love about Spectrum Internet and TV.
Spectrum Internet has the fastest speeds for everything I do.
There is no turning wheel. It's immediate.
Spectrum is the fastest. Bam.
Get the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance with Spectrum Internet, delivering starting speeds of 200 megabits. That's more than enough for all your devices for $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
I can't get over how much on-demand Spectrum has. I can literally watch a new movie every night.
I got all my shows, and he's got all his shows.
With the Spectrum TV app, I can watch live TV anywhere. It's perfect.
Add Spectrum TV and enjoy more free HD and more free on-demand. Plus, use the Spectrum TV app to watch live TV on the go, all from $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
The fact that they don't have contracts, that says a lot about their service.
Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Install Spectrum services yourself. Get a self-installation kit shipped right to your home. Call 833-906-4499.
Your new Honda is ready to go. The Honda Summer Clearance Event is the perfect time to get the family-friendly Pilot or the rugged Passport. You could get a great deal from Honda, KBB.com's 2020 Best Value brand. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online. Get a great deal on the Pilot at the Honda Summer Clearance Event today.
There may come a time when the person who has always cared for you will need care of their own. Oakmont is more than senior living. It's a new beginning. Because when their care is in the very best hands, it frees them to be the person they've always been.
Hi, honey. Hi, Mama.
So you can be a daughter again. Oakmont Senior Living, the best care for the best life.
Let Mossy move you with our bottom line sales event. Get our lowest advertised prices of the year on your favorite Nissans with amazing safety features and supercharged performance. Drive off in an all-new 2020 Nissan Altima 2.5S, bottom line priced for only $19,995 net cost. Shop online now, hassle-free for your bottom line price, or visit one of 7 Mossy Nissans now through Labor Day.
The San Diego Humane Society is celebrating a big milestone today. The group has officially given out 1 million pet meals to families in the San Diego community since COVID-19 began. That's the equivalent of 230,000 pounds of pet food, reaching 45,000 pet families. One local man says the Humane Society makes sure no San Diegan will need to give up their pet that they love because of financial concerns.
You have all these wonderful people doing really good work trying to help out the community. Either a lot of people give up their pets because they can't keep them up, or if they're in bad situations. And the Humane Society has always been there for, like, when I was doing social work, to help out those families.
Anyone can visit the Humane Societies in Escondido, Oceanside, or San Diego from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday to pick up pet food while supplies last.
All right, that seems like a good segue to talk a little bit more about our Clear the Shelters event, which isn't quite over yet, Dagmar. I know you have a lot to talk about with the forecast, but first, let's talk about those pets.
Yep. Hopefully we got a better forecast for the pets than we will for the humans. And by that I mean adopting critters into your home. And I love that story about no one having to give up their pet during this time. I mean, that's really special that others are stepping in. So let's see if maybe you can help step in. And we've already found homes for hundreds of animals across the county. We need to find homes for thousands more. This is Tim Tam. She's a very shy French Bulldog mix. She is about 2 years old. She needs a very patient, loving, experienced home. Somebody who is who can help build up her confidence. So Tim Tam is currently up at the Rancho Coastal Humane Society. If you're interested, why wouldn't you be? I can't get enough of that little face. She looks like a little polar bear cub. Tim Tam, you sweetheart. So hopefully you will be able to find a new home for her. If she's not exactly what you're looking for, please take a look at all the other animals needing help at NBC7.com/community. Clear the shelters, that's right, all month long. All right, the forecast for the humans. Okay, it doesn't look so good. What we're ending up seeing outside or feeling outside, blue skies, yes, and you heard Artie say at the beginning of the fort, don't let those beautiful blue skies deceive you. It's muggy out here. It will continue to stay on the muggy and the humid side all the way through at least the first alert 10-day forecast. I will show you that in a second. Through this evening, El Cajon will stay under those clear skies, but you're going to be seeing the temperatures in the upper 70s, even close to midnight. Looking at the South Bay stretch, Borrego Springs settling in way, we're peeking over into the deserts at about the mid-80 mark, Julian at about 70 or so. South Bay stretch anywhere from about the upper 60s into the low and even the mid 70s. Remember, you factor in the humidity as well. That's not going to take much of a break in the overnight hours. You'll also see that hazy cloud streaming through the region in the mid-county stretch all the way up into the north. That is, of course, passing from the southeast through to the northwest, stopping on by San Diego County pretty much everywhere you look. Ending up seeing the foothills tomorrow by 8 a.m. You're already in the low 80s. Remember, the humidity will play a role. 112 to 118 again tomorrow in Borrego Springs, looking at the low to the mid 90s in Julian, mid to upper 90s, Campo, Alpine, Ramona. Windy conditions at times in through the foothills. Ending up seeing, or really Campo in through the desert floors, ending up seeing temperatures in through that mid to upper 90 mark in the North County inland valleys, low to mid 80s in the South Bay. Repeat that range for the South Bay stretch as well for temperatures from the inland valleys to the coast. Remember what I keep saying about there's not much of a break in store for you here. So your temperatures really aren't cooling down all that much as you look way ahead 10 days out, ending up seeing a little bit of a break after that excessive heat warning is set to expire for the inland valleys on Thursday. But again, even after that, you're talking a drop of a factor of 2 or 3 degrees, and that monsoon moisture will still be present at that time. It does look like that will weaken somewhat and recede to our east. making sure Arizona gets the brunt of it this time. But for now, ending up at least through this weekend, continuing to feel the heat, continuing to feel the humidity. But keep in mind, the worst of it right now still expected through your day tomorrow and through your day Thursday, which is why that excessive heat warning is not slated to expire until Thursday night.
On the News at 5, message received, a major reversal from the head of the U.S. Postal Service. The recent controversial changes have now been suspended until after the November election. Also, rolling outages could be in the forecast any moment now for San Diego as scorching summer temperatures put a strain on the power grid. How to find out if the lights could go out at your home. And secret technology revealed. NBC7 investigates, uncovers controversial spyware used by local police to unlock cell phones without a password.
NBC7 News at 5 starts now.
Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. I'm Mark Mullen.
I'm Monica Dean. Thanks for joining us. About face, in a surprise move, the U.S. Postmaster General reverses course, suspending controversial changes to the U.S. Postal Service that could have delayed ballots, threatening the integrity of the presidential election.
Today's announcement came as San Diego congressional leaders participated in a nationwide day of action, calling for support for the U.S. Postal Service. All of this playing out just hours before the second night of the Democratic National Convention that is anything but conventional. More on that from NBC's Jay Gray.
After a weekend of protest, we need to maintain a strong and viable postal service. It needs to be reliable. This is not a time to be cutting back. Spilling over into a day of action by House Democrats.
We stand with the post office and that we will not let this president or this postmaster general take our voices or our votes away.
Late this afternoon, in a written statement, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy announces, to avoid even the appearance of any impact on election mail, I am suspending these initiatives until after the election is concluded. Initiatives that included banning overtime and late delivery trips for carriers, cutting back office operating hours, removing sorting machines, and in some areas, mailboxes.
My first reaction is, amen. Thank goodness he's seen the light.
DeJoy insists the moves were aimed at cutting costs and improving efficiency. But Democrats say the longtime ally of President Trump, who's donated more than $1 million to his campaign, was looking to slow down or even derail expected record mail-in voting in the upcoming election.
I don't frankly trust the Postmaster General and what he said, and if he is sincere about it, it means the bully has backed off.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is calling lawmakers back to Washington this weekend to vote on a measure that would allocate $25 billion in funding and mandate rolling back those recent changes to USPS operations. The president has repeatedly attacked universal mail-in voting.
Universal is going to be a disaster, the likes of which our country has never seen. It'll end up being a rigged election, or they will never come out with an outcome.
But in its statement today, Deloitte said the post office is ready, willing, and able to handle its role in the coming election. Jay Gray, NBC News.
As we prepare for the second night of the Democratic National Convention, President Trump is firing back at criticism last night from former First Lady Michelle Obama.
Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head.
She was over her head, and frankly, she should have made the speech live. I thought it was a very divisive speech, extremely divisive.
President Trump also criticized the former First Lady for not mentioning Kamala Harris in her speech. Tonight, we'll hear from Dr. Jill Biden, the wife of Joe Biden, former presidents Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton, and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Tomorrow, President Barack Obama will speak, and Kamala Harris will accept the vice presidential nomination. Joe Biden will accept the nomination for president on Thursday. Special live coverage starts tonight at 7 o'clock right here on NBC7. And coming up later in this newscast, unique perspective from a presidential historian on whether this truly is an unprecedented election and what we can expect as Election Day nears.
Meantime, President Trump is on the campaign trail again today, taking on some new allegations after a bombshell report was released this morning. The 1,000-page document compiled during a 3-year investigation by the Republican-controlled Senate